Alright, let's dive into something that's probably going to affect a lot of us in Metro Vancouver, and no, it's not another coffee shop opening. Highway 99 is closing for 2 nights next week, and personally, I think this is one of those moments where we all need to take a deep breath and plan ahead. Here's the deal, on August 10th and 11th, the highway will be shut down overnight for some major construction work. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just a random closure, it's part of a bigger project to build a new interchange for the Parkwood Industrial Estates. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a huge deal for Delta and the surrounding areas. Industrial space in the Lower Mainland is like gold dust, and this project is set to create hundreds of jobs, both during construction and afterward. But let's be real, the short-term pain of these closures is going to be felt by a lot of commuters. Now, the Ministry of Transportation is saying that traffic will be deterred through Highway 91 and Highway 17, but here's where things get tricky. One thing that immediately stands out is the timing of these closures. Southbound lanes start closing at 7 p.m., with a full closure by 8 p.m., and northbound lanes follow suit an hour later. That means if you're heading home from Vancouver or Richmond, you're going to need to rethink your route. What many people don't realize is that these closures aren't just about putting up a few signs and calling it a day. Crews are installing new bridge girders for the 78th Street Overpass, which is a critical part of the new interchange. This raises a deeper question: how often do we think about the infrastructure that makes our daily lives possible? It's easy to complain about delays, but projects like this are essential for long-term growth. From my perspective, the most fascinating detail here is the scale of the Parkwood Industrial Estates. We are talking about a 148-acre business park that's going to bring nearly 1,000 permanent jobs to Delta. That's a game-changer for the local economy. But it's not just about jobs. The new interchange is designed to improve traffic flow and safety. Mayor George V. Harvey called this the culmination of years of planning, and I think he's spot on. This isn't just a construction project, it's a vision for the future of Delta. What this really suggests is that even though we are dealing with some short-term headaches, the long-term benefits could be massive. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Highway 99 isn't the only major route seeing changes. Construction on Highway 1 is ongoing, with traffic patterns shifting until 2026. And let's not forget the Surrey Langley Skitran extension, which is causing its own set of disruptions. If you're like me, you're probably thinking, why all at once? But here's the thing, infrastructure doesn't upgrade itself. These projects are all interconnected, and they're part of a broader effort to handle the region's growth. What makes this really interesting is that we're seeing a mix of road and transit projects happening simultaneously. It's like the entire transportation network is getting a facelift, and that's both exciting and overwhelming. A detail I find fascinating is how these closures are being timed to minimize impact, or at least that's the goal. The Highway 99 closures are happening overnight, and the Skitran work is scheduled to avoid peak hours. But let's be honest, with so much going on, there's no perfect time. Personally, I think the key here is communication. If drivers know what's coming, they can plan ahead. But here's the kicker: how many of us actually check for road closures before we head out? I'll admit, I'm guilty of assuming everything will be smooth sailing until I'm stuck in a detour. This raises a deeper question: how can we as a community stay better informed about these changes? In my opinion, the real story here isn't just the closures, it's the transformation happening in Metro Vancouver. We're building for the future, and that means dealing with some growing pains. The new interchange, the Highway 1 widening, the Skitran extension, these are all pieces of a bigger puzzle. What this really suggests is that we are at a turning point. The region is growing, and our infrastructure needs to keep up. But it's not just about roads and trains, it's about how we live, work, and move. If you take a step back and think about it, these projects are shaping the future of our cities. So, while the closures might be frustrating, they're also a sign of progress. Closing thought: next time you're stuck in a detour or sitting in traffic, remember that you're not just part of the problem, you're part of the solution. These projects are for all of us, and the short-term inconvenience is a small price to pay for long-term benefits. But here's my question for you: how do you think we can better handle these disruptions as a community? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to plan your routes next week. Trust me, you don't want to be that person stuck on Highway 99 at 8 p.m. on Monday night.